You might have been watching my channel for a while now, or maybe you're new to my channel, and you might have seen some of the comments where people have said that they've actually passed the PQIP just from watching the tips in my videos and applying them. If that is you, like, massive congratulations. But if that's not you, you might be feeling a bit disheartened, thinking, how come they're passing and I'm not? What is it that I'm doing wrong? So I'm going to go through in this video the mistakes that you are making, specifically for the one-to-one section of your assessment centre. Firstly, you're not acknowledging your weaknesses. They might not ask this outright, tell me about your weaknesses, or they might vary this question so that you have to talk about a challenging or difficult time. But to be able to reflect on the fact that you found something challenging, that you found something different, and you acknowledge that that is a weakness, that is a really, really constructive thing to present in your interview, because as a probation officer, you know, it's no secret that it is a challenging and different job, and your weaknesses will come out as you do your training and in your job. They want people that are very self-aware. Don't be afraid to shine a light on your weaknesses and show how you actually learnt from that, how you felt about that. The next mistake is assuming that they know everything because they have your application form in front of them. Yes, they would have done their prep work, but they would have also have spoke to so many people before you and are speaking to people after you. Don't assume that they know. Do offer up expansion on your answers. And the best way to do this is use the STAR format: situation, task, action, result, so that you are actually offering up expansions on your answer. Why does this happen? It happens because you're nervous, or maybe you think, well, I won't say that because I've mentioned it in the application form. But no, do actually mention it. The next common mistake, you may not even realise that you're making this, because again, they're not going to ask you a straight out question, what did you think of your last job? But if you are talking bad about your last job, that really reveals something about your character and how you will be in this current role. And the reason why is because if they ask you a question of how you dealt with your last job or why you want to be a probation officer, you may then answer it talking about your previous job role and job responsibilities. They do not want people joining the service who are going to have a bad attitude towards their job, or who are only doing this because they're sick of their job, because let's face it, at some point you're going to be sick of this job too. That is just the nature of life. All jobs have their ups and downs. There is no one big happy job at the end of the rainbow. So by you talking bad about the job, it really does reflect on your thinking patterns, your attitudes, and they just don't want that vibe coming into their training scheme. And I've left the last mistake because it's so common: waffling. If you are prone to waffling, the reason it happens is because you are feeling nervous. So you overtalk, you overcompensate, because you're just like, well, I need to fit everything in. So you might find yourself talking very quickly, or repeating what you've just said, but saying it in a different way or with a different tone of voice. Repeating is not going to get you any extra marks, and it shows that you haven't really thought through your answer. So again, try and use the STAR structure: situation, task, action, result. That will keep some kind of format in your head to make it simple and easy to answer. And it is okay to just stop without the interviewer having to ask you to stop. So if you hear the interviewer saying, okay, that's good, you know, yeah, trying to like wrap it up, or if they're trying to like prompt you in a different direction, then you know that you are waffling. If you find waffling a problem, it could also be a sign of having that lack of self-belief. So not fully believing in yourself that you are here, you are showing up, and you are ready, and you have got that job. You need to have that attitude of, you know what, they're going to take me no matter what. You need to be in that frame of mind for this interview, and you really have to develop those self-belief skills. And that is something that I develop with my students who come on my program. I am a real believer in actually working on our inner self while we are in this process of figuring out what we want to do with our life, figuring out what career we want, figuring out what job we want. Another very common mistake is you are worrying and focusing too much on the interviewers. You know, when we're in that flow state and we are just talking and we're saying what's on our mind, but then you get trapped thinking, okay, what are they saying? What are they thinking? You know, especially if you are an overthinker or very anxious and not able to concentrate and focus, you're going to be focusing on, okay, what's their body language? Well, that person's not smiling, that person's writing, that person's not writing, and you just go off track and lose what you are saying. Really, really try and focus in on being in that flow state where you are prepared, but you are also being natural and being yourself as well. It is a really, really fine balance, and the main thing is practice. You want to practice that balance between having that structure, because that will give you the confidence to know what you're saying, and then letting your true self shine through. If you are someone who wants to take action and actually transform your interview skills so you finally get on the program, then click on the link. It's either in the description or it's in my description on Instagram, because I do offer a free consultation for anyone who wants to join my probation coaching program. So there you have it. You've got the mistakes. Now you know where you're going wrong, and if you need help, you've got my coaching program. But stay tuned for more videos. I'm going to go through more mistakes and what people do who are successful.